What's up, guys? It's John here with National Sports Entertainment, and there was an interesting excerpt I wanted you guys to listen to. This is Roger Maris Jr. Reacting to the home run 61 being hit by Aaron Judge. And then you would think he watched the channel based off of his observations, that things he thought were coincidental. And I think his delivery kind of gives it away too. But we're going to listen to it, and I'm going to go into why I think Judge hits number 62 tonight, or technically today, in about 12 hours on the second against the Chichi Gonzalez for the Orioles. But let's listen.
Obviously quite amazing, and then Stan had his walk-off grand slam, so the week started off great. And then I guess 9 days later, Aaron's dragging us around, from country to country, trying to watch him hit his 61st. So it's been kind of crazy, and it just seems like every time he comes to bat, it turns into a 3-2 count. So you get to sit there and just the anticipation after anticipation and pitch after pitch after pitch. So I don't know how many pitches we had to sit there and watch through, but it was a great week, a lot of fun. To actually get to meet Aaron's mom, coming here to sit with her. That was a lot of fun, getting to know her, getting to know a little bit about the family, and getting to kind of see why Aaron carries himself the way he does, because obviously getting to meet her, spending some time with her, you can kind of see that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The family seems very grounded, and you can just tell when you meet somebody like why the kid's the way he is. So kudos to the parents.
All right, Meredith?
Roger, you had a moment with Aaron after the game where you guys spoke there in that hallway. What did you say to him, and why was it important for you to see him immediately and speak with him?
Well, that was the way we planned it all along. I mean, because, we got here and, the Yankees wanted to know if we wanted to go in the clubhouse and meet Aaron and go on the field and all that kind of stuff. And philosophy was let Aaron do what Aaron wants, what he's doing, trying to hit the home runs and not be a distraction. Obviously, the Yankees are trying to get a playoff berth, so we just said, hey, we just want to stay in Steinbrenner Suite, be up there, let Aaron do his thing, let the Yankees do their thing, not be a distraction. So that's why we waited so long to finally meet. And I was always like, I don't want to meet him till he actually hits the home run. And then when I met him tonight after the home run, that's when we first spoke and had a nice conversation. I was just kind of asked him why he waited so long to kind of make me travel around the country. And the ironic thing was, like I told him, I said it's the 9th day I've been here. Okay, he wears 99, Dad wears 9. This is kind of weird the way it all kind of went together, So now I'm thinking, okay, we're going to go to the Yankee Stadium and it'll probably hit 62 on October 1st when Dad hit his 61st. So just all the weird similarities with he and my dad's is kind of ironic. But yes, that's pretty much why we waited to hook up tonight and get to know each other a little bit.
So, as we can hear, Roger Maris Jr. himself found the numbers to be very interesting, how they just coincidentally all lined up. And that's what I went into in my 3 Aaron Judge videos as to why I believed he was going to hit the home run. And for those of you that aren't really into gematria, I like to call what I do, it's a variation. It's not your typical gematria, but I will say 413, the gematria is home run. He had a 314 batting average coming into that game. And the other interesting thing is there was, I think I had showed you the pitcher's record was like 1-6, bunch of repetitive numbers. And the Yankees' record was an inverse of, at the time, it was 95 and 57. So the reason that's important is we heard what Roger Maris said. He thought it would be on 101, which would have made sense. It's an inverse, but there's a reason I didn't put out the video. A, once he made that prediction, I knew it wasn't going to happen. And B, I didn't think it was going to happen just on an inverse. I like to look for specific numbers. So here we have Kyle Bradish, and his hit, he's given up 116 hits. So backwards, you got 61, and then one to the left of that. So 61 and 1 would be 62. If you're looking at the stat line for Bradish, 116. 106 strikeouts, backwards 6-1. So you'll see these numbers repeat themselves on more than one occasion. Another thing I find interesting, and they don't put this stuff here on accident. If you look at the top picks for the DraftKings daily fantasy sports, if you look down the list, what do you see? 999, right? Mookie Betts 9.9, Trey is 9.1, and Freddie's got 9.6. Again, these aren't just coincidences that they pick specific players to put on these sheets. Everything from the articles to this, to the interviews, to, I believe, the attendance, all is symbolism, letting us know exactly what's going to happen. And of course, we're not going to go that far into the rabbit hole, but I'm looking at repetitive numbers. Another thing interesting is, again, the Yankees record now is 97-60. A lot of times records are broken in losing fashion. So 97-61 again would make sense. He's on 61, and then if he breaks it. So you can make the argument too, when they have 62 losses, I'll break it. But I think it'll be 97-61 because of a lot of, again, commonalities I've noticed. Again, you can make the argument he'll hit it at 99 wins. I think there's three narratives here. The first was if he's going to tie it, which they gave away. He already did. Then it's if he's going to break it, which they gave away. He's going to. The third narrative is how many is he going to hit after he breaks it, right? Because then people might even have in the back of their minds, oh, is he going to get to 70? Even though it's not going to happen, you'll have people thinking that, and they'll be watching the games. So that, I thought it was interesting that Maris brought up all those coincidences. And if you notice at the beginning, he said about something to the effect of, for 9 hours a day, Judge was dragging us around to different places. So, like, he brings up all the nines, but then he slipped his own 9 in there. So I thought that was interesting. So with all the 6s, the 1s, the 9, the repetitive 9s, like I said, if you look at the record, I do believe he'll hit the home run and they'll lose, making them the 97-61. I suppose it could happen in the third game of the series. This is kind of my logic with the Blue Jays, where not much of the symbolism will change. But I really do think he hits it tomorrow, or technically today. Again, based off of the date, the 102, based off of the record, that it might be 61, 116 hits, 106 strikeouts. And when you add it all up, it is pretty interesting. You see a lot of repetitive. And then when I did happen to see, after listening to Maris, all of these 9s going straight down. And then also, again, Mookie Betts 9.9, that's Judge's number. And then if you look under that, you have an inverse of 16 or 61 with 9.1, and then there's another 6. So you just see this same exact 3 numbers constantly repeating, just like we saw with 314 when he hit his 61st. So I wanted to put this out there. I think this might be a cool way of doing it. This is the reason I did the other video regarding Nick Wright the way I did, because I want people to hear what's being said beforehand, and then we can see it fall into place, versus something happens and then I just go onto my Gematria cross-reference website and cross-reference all the words that will fit that narrative. And I'm not saying that's what everybody does, but that's something that I could do, and I don't think it would be beneficial. So that's why I'm putting this one out now. And again, I'm going to put it as part of my Aaron Judge series. It's Gematria based, but again, it's more just symbolisms, common sense, and things that I think are Freudian slips. So we're going to watch Judge probably hit his home run on 102. So a home run 62 on 102. That's another thing. 60 is 1, 60 is 1 hour. So 62, 102. To me, it just all comes full circle. He blasted to today, and if not, he definitely blasted tomorrow, just because, again, the inverse record that they're going to inevitably have. But that's my prediction. Home run for Judge tonight. If you can do a prop bet on it, I would honestly bet like $5, $10 he hits it. If not, you just double it up tomorrow. Because that's what I did with the first time. I bet a couple bucks that he'd hit it against the Jays. The next night he hit it, because all the symbolism was basically still there. But yeah, let me know what you think of Roger's interview. He also said that the way they had planned it from the beginning, all these different things, it seemed more like they planned the entire thing versus just when he was going to meet Judge for a quote the first time. I would think after he broke the record would make more sense, but, that's fine. So, yeah, this is just, again, me trying to explain how I come to certain assessments. I don't go to a gematria calculator and cross-reference 100 different words only to find 2 that fit my narrative and put it out after the fact. I like you guys to see what I'm seeing in real time, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but this is the only way we're going to learn. The only way we're going to crack the code is by every single day, as we see things, noticing them, and then, as you can tell by our picks, over the course of time, we get information, and we wind up having information on things that are most likely to happen, and that's basically my approach here. So again, while we're not going to make a bunch of money off of weekly home run bets or anything of that nature, it's just another example of how I believe all sports are rigged, scripted, and phony. So on this one, there's, again, unless you're betting a prop bet on Aaron Judge to hit the home run, happy earnings. But I appreciate everybody that watches. I know you love the sports betting videos, but I do like putting these ones out. I put out one regarding Kobe because I think it goes way deeper than just fixing lines. What these people do are sick. I think they're sacrifices. Again, when the Yankees were 95 and 57, or 95 and 59, that night Coolio died at the age of 59. These things are not coincidences. So yeah, I appreciate everybody that checks these videos out, and we're going to keep doing the picks every week. But like I said, I do like to get what I believe to be in plain sight signs of symbolism right in our face. So Judge, I believe, home run. Take care and have a good night, everyone.